Welcome back. Hope you're feeling purry and furry and yet frisky and risky, ready to go out and tackle a brand new day. Speaking of which, yesterday we discussed the spicy topic of making mistakes and how, if we're ever to learn anything, we will have to make an abundance of mistakes. And the only way to learn is through experience. So I guess the question we might ask ourselves is why, you know, if if there is a God, if there is a loving higher power in this universe, if that's more than just a fantasy, if that's an actual conscious reality, why would that power allow us to make mistakes, often really bad ones, and cause damage to ourselves and to others? Wouldn't it just step in and make sure that we didn't do such things? It's a variation of the question, why do bad things happen to good people? But it's the sort of question that intelligent people simply must ask if they're to really reconcile the truth rather than just accepting mindless platitudes. This is the reason a lot of highly intelligent people reject religion and spirituality, because on the surface, oftentimes it seems to injure common sense. And because of that, they feel as though it simply must be rejected out of hand based on that. So why are we allowed to make mistakes? And the answer to that is really quite simple if we think it through. The answer is free will. We have the freedom to make mistakes. And it's like, wow, I love my freedoms, but I don't like my freedom to make mistakes, to screw up in the world. And sorry, the two must go hand in hand. Now, again, there are those in this day and age, modern philosophers, who say that we don't have free will. And I personally, while that's an available point of view, I personally find that to be entirely incoherent. It's almost staggering that an intelligent mind would argue against its own capacity to aim its own consciousness, in other words, the quality of free will. And if we have free will, and we do, we can aim ourselves toward a host of objectives and motives, ideas. And in so doing, we can aim at things that are higher, and then we can aim at things that are lower. When we aim at things that aren't good for us, well, we might call that error or mistake. And we have to be free to do that. Any good parent can't follow their child around all day long in a mini helicopter and try to make sure they never make a mistake. They can't wrap them in bubble wrap or aluminum siding as they go out into the world to make sure that they're never hurt or never make a mistake. Although certain parents are trying to do that nowadays, and it doesn't lead to a healthy child. The freedom to make a mistake is one of the greatest freedoms we have, because then it gives us the freedom to correct our mistakes. The freedom to make mistakes also is the same freedom that enables us to correct those mistakes. Now, we might say one of the great tragedies of existence is it's not making a mistake. It's not a tragedy at all. The tragedy is repeating the same mistake over and over and over and over again. Now, if we continue to make the same mistake over and over and over again, damaging our lives and the lives of those around us, then to some degree, we've lost our free will. That's when free will can be sacrificed or diminished. We simply go into an automatic, robotic, knee-jerk reaction to life, and we keep making the same stupid mistakes over and over again. And that leads to suffering. And it's not hard to see that in the world. A bunch of people who have essentially lost their freedom to correct their mistakes keep making the same mistake over and over again, running into a bunch of other people who are lost in the same abyss. And then you have something called the earth. But that's okay. We're making our mistakes and we're learning. And if you really do look at the world, if you go out and look in your neighborhood, you'll see how much life is really actually working. how good it actually is. Of course, we pay more attention to our mistakes because those are the things that pinch us and prod us and poke us. It hurts, but it makes us correct. So if meditation does anything, and it does many things, it frees us up from the robotic, automatic mind that's lost its free will and its ability to correct its own mistakes. And when we meditate, we open up new brain tissue and the capacity to aim ourselves in new directions. And then we can look back on the mistakes we've made, and we can, if not be amused by them, we can at least appreciate them, and we can know that as spiritual children, we've needed those mistakes to move forward, and we've needed the mistakes that other people have made in our direction to stimulate us to grow and to develop. And as we do develop and grow, we won't make the same mistakes that we used to make. We'll make fresh, new, exciting ones that are based on far larger motive and principle. And there'll be mistakes that lead to astonishing growth, evolution. And yes, we will reach a stage where our mistakes don't lead to such suffering. They'll be far more in the direction of correction and uplift, progress and evolution. So some thoughts on mistakes today. It's okay that we've made them, but it's not especially okay to continue to make the same mistake over and over again. Let's exercise our free will through meditation and spiritual practice and aim ourselves toward the angels of our higher nature and our cats. Have a beautiful day.